Hi, welcome to my short tutorial on this Noteflight assignment. This is the assignment that I originally introduced on the PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to walk you all the way through the entire assignment so you can see just some of the most basic options here. This is a good assignment to get both teachers and students used to navigating through Noteflight. So if you don't have an account, you would go ahead and click right here on sign up free and follow the prompts. I actually do already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is click over here on New Score. And you do want to start from a blank score sheet. So we're actually going to work within some of these parameters here. We want to keep the 4/4 time signature and the tempo here, 120 beats per minute when the quarter note is 1 beat. So the title of this project is going to be Variation on the C major scale. For the subtitle, we'll do today's date, my name for the composer, and then lyricist as student's name. Okay, so first step's done. And then we want to go ahead and click on this box, which will lead us to edit. Okay, and you notice that it adds these extra features up here, kind of shortcuts, so that you don't always have to use this menu. So the first thing we're going to do is notate a C major scale, and we can do this either. Let's get rid of this edit. So you can either do it in the treble clef or the bass clef. You can use any duration of notes except for whole notes. We are staying in 4/4 time, and the scale must ascend and descend. So I'm going to select duration first and quarter note. Then I'm going to start here on middle C. So I did probably pick the easiest note you could have used, which is the quarter note, just for simplicity, just to make sure that everybody can follow along. I'm actually going to do a second example. Another popular one would be the half note. So you could continue on. Let's see. Here we go, half note. D, E, and descend. Okay, so now we have everything notated. For simplicity, I'm also going to select this bar line here and hit enter, which will give me a new line, and then that separates the quarter notes from the half notes. The other thing I want to do is get rid of this last measure, so I'm going to click on the number 13 and hit minus, and that will get rid of that extra measure. Okay, so We have our ascending and descending positions. The next thing we're going to do is add a flat to the ascending B. So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So we click on that, and we're going to click on pitch and add a flat. Perfect. Done and done. On to number 3. Add a slur connecting the first note of the first measure to the last note of the second measure. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the C and then go down to articulation and select slur. So this automatically, let's see, get rid of that. Sorry. So we have this slur, but we need it to go all the way to the last note here. I actually prefer my slurs in treble clef to go over the top. So I'm going to extend this and then reposition the slur here. We can also flatten it out a little bit and bring it back down. Perfect. Okay, so there is number 3. Number 4, make the notes in the third measure staccato. So we're going to start with this measure and go back to articulation and select staccato and on to the next one. Okay. So number 4, make the notes in the third measure staccato. We've just done that one. Number 5, add an accent mark to the first note of every measure. So we'll start here at the beginning, articulation, accent. Remember, it's the first note of every measure. So we're going to go ahead and do this one as well. For simplicity, I'm ignoring the half notes below. I just wanted to show you an example that was different than the quarter notes. Okay. So number 6, add the dynamic marking for piano under the first note of the third measure. So I am going to select the first note of the third measure, and then let's find the mark for piano. I believe it's in text. Perfect. Expression text. So add a P from your keyboard and hit enter. Add a C below the ascending E to make a harmonic interval of a third. So our ascending E is here in the fourth measure, and I'm going to add a C below, and that will finish number 7. Number 8 says add a fermata above the last note. So we have the C selected, and we need to add a fermata. And there's our fermata right under tempo selection. Okay. All right, so to double check everything here, we have our ascending and descending sections. We've added a flat to the ascending B. We've added our slur to the connecting the first note of the first measure and the last note of the second measure. All of the notes in the third measure are staccato. We've added an accent to every first note or first count of each of the 4 measures. We have added our piano dynamic marking, our C below the descending E, and a fermata to the last note. So let's go ahead and listen. This is a nice little feature. It doesn't make that much of a difference in this assignment, since this assignment focused more on just getting to know some of the features, but we'll go ahead and push play. Good, and then that would follow the second example. So this is just a short introduction. From here, your students would go back to edit from play, and then you can select here. Let's see. Maybe it's in settings. Oh, so we want to hit save first, and then we'll go to Noteflight and home. And then from here, you can export. So here's our variation from today. So from here, you can export the score to a PDF and then email it to teachers, perhaps too, I suppose, if your students wanted to create their own music and rehearse with students, this would be a good way for them to make modifications to their sheet music and go from there. So, of course, there are so many more possibilities. This is just a really basic introduction to get students familiarized with the program and some of the basic theory features that they can use in composing music. Thanks for watching.